Over a week ago, this was actually prior to the assassination of Charlie Kirk, a pernicious rumor began spreading about JK Rowling, a death hoax that started off as a distasteful joke from someone who describes themselves on X as a calico cat, trans girl, lesbian, pronouns she/any. Most posts are unserious. It says JK Rowling was found to have cancer. Doctors believe that with a successful surgery, the malignant tumor can be removed and the cancer will be saved.
Yeah, it's we got this right here.
And it's followed up with, these replies are horrible. It's shocking to see this many people rooting for doctors to fail, hoping doctors don't do their job. Are you out of your mind? Do you want your doctor to treat you the same? This would be malpractice. I hope doctors do their job and save the cancer. To which a bunch of other users with the trans flag in their screen name were celebrating and cheering for, you know, the obviously fictional news that JK Rowling's life is about to end. And, you know, posts about them manifesting this outcome because they are filled with hate in their hearts. They are vicious, deeply, deeply lost people spiritually. And I think that JK Rowling, even in the face of all of this intellectual dishonesty and vitriol and just horrific sentiment from her critics, still insists on responding with mostly grace and honesty and eluquence instead of lobbing those insults and remarks back at them.
I don't think it's actually in her nature to do that, because she's such a writer. She has to
She
start,
can't help it.
Just to go off.
She's a very thoughtful person, and recently there was an example of that. Someone responded to her on X saying, in reference to fixed beliefs, "What beliefs have you changed, JK Rowling?"
That's an interesting question.
It was meant to be a gotcha question, but her response to it completely deflated the point
That's
this
what I
person
loved
was
about
trying
it.
to make.
Yeah.
And she didn't have to make any cheap insults either. So she then listed out a bunch of things that she has admitted that she was wrong about, that she's changed her opinion on over the years. And it's as follows. "I used to believe nurture was everything and that nature wasn't important. My belief changed because of my own life experience and from reading studies about genetic inheritance. In my early 20s, I believed the difference between the sexes was entirely due to socialization. I no longer believe that for the same reasons as above. I used to believe..." This one is out of left field.
This was so out of left field, it's not even
"I
funny.
used to believe in unilateral nuclear disarmament. I no longer do."
Like, she doesn't elaborate. That's
No
what I want to
elaboration
know. Like, I
on
don't
that
give a
one.
crap about what she thinks about weed. I don't give a crap about what she thinks about transgender ideology. I want to know who she thinks should have nukes and who she thinks shouldn't.
The good guys, of course.
Well, who does she think the good guys are? I want to know.
"I used to believe cannabis was essentially harmless. I no longer do because I've witnessed it wreaking havoc on someone I care about's mental health. I used to believe in assisted dying. I no longer do, largely because I'm married to a doctor who opened my eyes to the possibilities of coercion of sick or vulnerable people. I've struggled with religious faith since my mid-teens. I appear to have a God-shaped vacuum inside me, but I never seem quite able to make up my mind what to do about it. I could probably list at least 20 more things I've changed my mind about. I don't currently have a single belief that couldn't be altered by clear, concrete evidence, and in all but one case, I know what that evidence would have to be. The exception is the God conundrum, because I don't know what I'd have to see to make me come down firmly on either side. I suppose that's the meaning of faith, believing without seeing proof, and that's why I'll probably go to my grave with that particular personal matter unresolved." Very interesting, thought-provoking, and intellectually humble response,
That
which
was
you see
like-
so rarely on social media.
That was the gold standard for, like, turning a gotcha question against someone.
Yeah,
That was amazing.
Interesting.
I loved everything about that.
And to the last point that she made about religion, obviously I'm reading this from the perspective of someone who is religious. I'm a Catholic. In case you haven't been paying attention, I mention it a lot. And I think my impression from that is I have more questions, actually. Why does she feel so dedicated to her causes, specifically on her advocacy in terms of like gender ideology? I want to know, like, what is it that motivates you to be so dedicated to that cause, no matter what people say about you, no matter the backlash, if you lost everything? Because that can't really explain itself. Like, I believe everyone does have a God. Everyone does behave religiously, whether or not they identify that way. And she is clearly a deeply principled person who believes in objective morals, and she has staked so much on her beliefs. That is clear. Mm-hmm. So, you know, that also was resonating with me like last week and throughout this week as well, in regard to all of the conviction people are expressing for political change in wake of Charlie Kirk's death. Because at the end of the day, none of this matters if you don't believe in the eternal, as Charlie Kirk did. None of it matters. His death doesn't matter if he doesn't live on in a more meaningful way in an afterlife, which is truly when we're the most alive, in my view. Yeah. None of it matters. It's just the atoms in his throat were in one place and then they were in another. Really, truly, if you have a materialistic worldview, that's all that happened. So I think that this that event, you know, for better or for worse, did fortunately wake a lot of people up to the spiritual reality that we live in that is most of the time invisible to us. As for the other points that she made here, the first and second one about nature versus nurture and the biological differences between the sexes, a lot of people need to come to terms with that. And you don't need to believe in God to realize that. That's just human reason at work. And it reminded me of something I came across on Instagram recently. I had seen this before. It's from an Australian TV program. They did a little social experiment on a bunch of kids, little boys and little girls, to test out how they would react to getting served disgusting, salty Jell-O. How would they react? Would they try to appease the person that gave it to them, or would they tell the truth about the fact that they didn't like it? And it says everything you need to know about the difference between men and women and the fact that it is ingrained in us biologically, not socially.
Actually made this jelly for you.
What they don't know is that the jelly has a secret ingredient.
Oh man.
Salt.
This task gives us insight into how children conceal emotions like disgust and show empathy.
Yeah, it does smell good.
Smells good. What do you think?
So cute.
Is it sometimes okay to tell a little lie?
Never. A little one. Just say never, okay? Never.
5-year-olds are able to tell white lies to avoid hurting someone else's feelings, and girls are more likely to do this as they may be more aware of social norms of politeness than boys.
It's amazing. Do you like it? It's a bit salty, but I like salty. I felt sorry for her.
Why?
Because we don't really like her jelly.
Now for the boys.
So what do you think? How does it taste? Is it okay?
Why is there salt in this?
Do you think I should give it to the other kids then?
You can take it home. I told her it was not good.
Why did you tell her that?
Because it wasn't good.
What about her feelings?
She was okay with that.
I've actually made this jelly for you.
Oh, that's so manipulative too. To see, like, I made this for you specifically.
No, is that the jelly has
Right,
a...
okay.
Oh, come on.
So the little boys were standing on business.
Yes, of
very
course.
blunt and
They're
honest.
like, how will she learn to make good jelly if she doesn't know that it's bad?
Exactly. And you can see the difference between male and female well before it's conditioned into us by the patriarchy. There's so many delusional comments on this video saying that this is because little girls are conditioned from birth to be people pleasers and not stand up for themselves because we live in a patriarchal society. And it's not true. Women are just nicer.
Yeah.
That's the point. They're just naturally more concerned with the feelings of others. It's ingrained in us from thousands and thousands of years of biology. It's not something they were taught to do. It's just natural, and it's beautiful.
Yeah.
And there's not one that is objectively incorrect or correct. There's probably a perfect balance between both reactions.
Yep.
And even there were some comments saying that those little boys are taught to be entitled little shits, and they are so
like,
rude.
If that's what you take from that, I feel horrible for you. Like, your existence must be awful.
These people need to come to the realizations that JK Rowling came to, that she was expressing here. She was under the misapprehension that we are all socialized into our gender roles. That is not true. There is some of it that is socialized, like the way we dress, maybe. But, you know, something as fundamental as like the way we interact with each other, that's just the way that we're born. There are exceptions. I am this Jello is salty person. I'm not like most females in that way. I never have been.
I'm not like most girls.
Literally, like it's not served me well in many scenarios. But I'm just saying, if we're making generalizations, there's nothing. It's inexorable from human nature that you would see these reactions. It's nothing you can correct by changing society. And also, since she mentioned the MAID program or assistance in dying, whatever you want to call it, to sugarcoat what it really is, it reminded me this beloved Canadian children's author named Robert Munsch. I don't know how to pronounce it. Known for classics like Love You Forever and The Paper Bag Princess, has been approved for medical assistance in dying, the MAID program in Canada. Really sad. Yeah. And I'm glad that JK Rowling has also expressed her evolved opinion about that as well.
And her perception seems to be that family members will manipulate you into like to feeling like you're a burden on your family, and like
there's that, but there's also the government.
Government should not be getting involved.
The government
it's disgusting.
Benefits from sick people dying sooner, of course, and it's not just the fact that young, healthy people with mental health issues are being killed through this MAID program, but also the entire concept that human suffering has value has been discarded. The entire concept that we need to preserve compassion between human beings, that we should care for one another when we're vulnerable and sick, has been discarded, because there's no concept in a materialistic worldview that human suffering matters in a transcendent way, that it can present opportunities for a greater good, that evil can lead to incalculable good. There's been I guess that thread has been entirely lost on people. Even JK Rowling, not having admittedly a religious perspective on this, can see that. Yeah. So yeah, that was a shining example of online discourse.
But more than anything, look at the people who took pleasure in the news that she was supposedly dying, and remember that, like, we can go through all of the flowery language and the debate you want. Is that a person you want to spend time with? Is that a person you want to have in your life? I would say no, and I'm guessing you would say no too, because you're well adjusted.
Thanks for watching. Listen to full episodes of Pop Culture Crisis on Spotify.
Keep up with us on social media, and make sure you subscribe and ring that bell so you never miss the show. Bye, guys.